Everybody all set? So good morning, I'm Bruce Blakeman, Nassau County Executive-elect. I wanted to clarify my position with respect to the governor's mask mandate. Basically, I have indicated that with consultation with our health commissioner and other healthcare professionals and physicians, I have determined that we are not in crisis here in Nassau County, that come January 1st, it is not my intention to enforce the mask mandate. 97% of adults who live and reside in Nassau County have been vaccinated, which is a great achievement. And we are not in crisis with respect to the number of hospital beds that are now being occupied or the ICU units. So at this time, I see that there is no reason to have a mask mandate, and I have indicated that I would not enforce it. That statement was given because there were many press inquiries as to what my position would be, so I wanted to make it clear. So with that, we'll take any questions.
Mr. Blake, businesses enforcing themselves, and what are you saying to these small business owners who just don't do?
Okay, so that's up to the individual business owner. So if you have a small business or a large business, you can make that determination. Some of the small business owners were saying that it was untenable for them to try and enforce the mask mandate, and some of the larger business owners said, well, you know, we're getting a lot of pushback from our people. We're afraid that they might stay home and not come to work. So basically, we've gotten input from both small business owners and large business owners, and they've indicated that by and large, they're in favor of not having the mandate at this time.
You said we're not in crisis mode here in Nassau County. Does that mean you're going to wait until we are in crisis mode to enforce mask?
No, hopefully we'll never be in crisis mode again. Basically, we're almost 2 years into the pandemic, and we've learned a lot. There are vaccines now available, booster shots available. We have better treatments for COVID right now. We are watching the Omicron variant very carefully. I think we have to make these decisions on a day-to-day basis and evaluate what's going on. Obviously, if capacity went up at our healthcare facilities, our ICU units and hospital beds, at that time, of course, you'd reevaluate the situation. But you have to have a balancing act here. It's very complicated. There are businesses that need to operate. We have to get the economy going. And we also have to take a look at the collateral damage. There's a lot of people who are talking about mental health issues with respect to COVID-19, and it's creating a lot of anxiety. So we have to be mindful of the whole picture at this point.
Bruce, are you actually instructing the Department of Health to not enforce the mask mandate, since that is the agency responsible for enforcing it according to the governor's mandate?
Yes, so I'm not doing anything yet. I'm not county executive yet, so Laura Kern is still county executive, and she's in control of county government. As of January 1st, I will instruct our health department and the other departments in the county to stand down and not enforce the mandate, to not issue fines, to issue tickets. We're not looking to get fines, things like that.
Mr. Blakeman, I was in a salon yesterday, okay? And the people who worked there were wearing the masks, and the customers weren't wearing the masks, right? And the people who worked there said, we're uncomfortable. You put on us to ask these people, but we're worried we're going to get sick. So what do you say to frontline workers, to work, or to people public facing who are simply worried they're going to get sick, and businesses that could shut down? Not because people are dying, but because people just might be ill for a while.
Well, I think everybody has to use common sense, and we have to let business owners run their businesses. So basically, if you have unhappy employees, you have to reevaluate your own position with respect to this. But you know, it's a little confusing to people that when you go in a restaurant, for instance, for the last year, you could go in a restaurant, you didn't have to wear a mask, but the people who were serving you had to wear masks. So I think we have to use a little common sense, look at the science, look at the data, and make determinations on a day-to-day basis. So I think what the governor did was paint the whole state with a broad brush. And as you all know, New York is a very large state. We're 300 miles from Buffalo, where apparently they have had a large spike. There has been a lack of hospital beds. Their ICU units are getting full. So in Erie County, they do have some issues. However, Erie County is closer to Cleveland, Ohio than it is to Long Island. So we're a very different part of the state. And in this region, in Nassau and Suffolk County, where we have high vaccination rates, we have a lot more healthcare facilities than other parts of the state, we are not in crisis. Does that mean we're not in concern? Of course. It's a concern every day for me, and I'm sure it is for our current county executive. But we also have to use common sense. We have to look at collateral damage, and we have to listen to business owners. And basically, by and large, my decision has been very popular with business owners.
This gets cut.
The infection rate has gone up about 3%, or close to about 7% in Nassau County. What necessitates crisis mode in Nassau County?
Yeah, so I've talked to the health commissioner and also, again, to physicians and other healthcare professionals. They said the most accurate indicator is how many people are being admitted to the hospital, how many people are being admitted to ICU. And right now, that is not a concern for them. So that would be the driving factor in changing my opinion as to what course we should take, because that would be the right thing to do, because all of the healthcare professionals that I've consulted with have told me if you get a spike in admissions, to ICU, then you have to reevaluate not only the mask mandate, but everything you're doing. So at this point, we are concerned, but we're not in crisis.
Bruce, school districts are stuck in a really sticky situation now. They don't fall under the county health department. They don't fall under the county government. They fall under state ed and state health. So some of them have already sent letters to the governor saying, if you're reevaluating the mask mandate on January 15th, include us, we should be treated the same way. But you've got very active school districts in Nassau, Massapequa, Rockville Center, who are not necessarily in favor of the mask mandate. What do you say to them who say now we're stuck in the middle, we don't really know what to do?
Well, I've consistently said that I think it should be a local determination on each school district with respect to the mask mandate for children. I think that there, again, is collateral damage when you're requiring kids to wear masks all day. There are social issues. There are issues of anxiety. Some people have had breathing problems, some of the children. So I think that's up. You have a school nurse, you have a school physician, you have people who are elected to school boards. They should have some input. And I think our issue is that we don't want to get painted with a broad brush. And the school districts don't want that either. They want to be able to have local determination.
Are you personally against kids in schools wearing masks?
I think it's up to the parents and the school administrators as to whether or not the children should wear masks. I'm for local determination. I'm not against it. I think that wearing masks should be something that's optional, and people who wear masks shouldn't be criticized because they wear masks, and people who don't wear masks shouldn't be criticized because they don't wear masks. I think it's a personal choice.
Right. Okay. One last thing. First, pointers. The alternative to the governor's mask mandate was a vaccine mandate. Obviously, I think you've been clear about that. Could you state your position on that alternative on if the county were to impose a vaccine mandate or to impose a vaccine mandate for the vaccine?
I think the best way to manage this crisis right now is to encourage people to get vaccines, make vaccines available, which we've done on the town of Hempstead level, where I'm still a councilman for another 2.5 weeks. We were the first mobile vaccination unit in the state. And I think education is very important. But I think when government acts in a heavy-handed way and they force people to make a choice between being vaccinated or losing their job, I don't think that that's constitutional. I think it's unfair. Look at our first responders, our police officers, our firefighters. We asked those people during the height of the pandemic to work when there was no vaccination. And now we're going to fire those same people because they're willing to work when there is a vaccination. I think that's eminently unfair, and that's why I've been against that.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks a lot.